Democrats are still trying to figure out their party's future after losing the 2024 presidential election, and it's spurring a call for new, younger leaders. Massachusetts Congressman Seth Moulton announced his bid for Senate, challenging 79-year-old Ed Markey, whose tenure on Capitol Hill includes 12 years in the Senate and 37 years in the House. Moulton launched his campaign Wednesday, directly calling out Markey and his concern for the party's future.
We're in a crisis, and with everything we learned last election, I just don't believe Senator Markey should be running for another 6-year term at 80 years old. Even more, I don't think someone who's been in Congress for half a century is the right person to meet this moment and win the future. Senator Markey's a good man, but it's time for a new generation of leadership.
Massachusetts Congressman and U.S. Senate candidate Seth Moulton joins us now. He serves on the House Armed Services Committee. So, Congressman Moulton, obviously what happened last election cycle with Joe Biden's health clearly influenced you in this decision, and you're framing your bid as new leadership, not necessarily new ideology. But can you give us one concrete policy where you would vote differently than Senator Markey?
Sure. I'm not going to vote for Senator Schumer to be the leader of our party in the Senate. We need new leaders, and I'm not going to run on a platform of new generation of leadership right here in Massachusetts and then go and support the status quo in Washington, D.C.
Congressman, another thing and another issue on which I suspect you might have a difference with Markey is on energy. Massachusetts has among the highest electricity prices in the entire country, behind only, I believe, Hawaii and California. You were a physics major in college. What is your solution to helping bring down the increasing cost of electricity for your constituents?
You know, this is a fundamental issue of supply and demand. We do not have enough supply of electricity, and as a result, prices are high, and American families, especially Massachusetts families, are paying the price. Now, let's first be clear that the Trump administration is making this a lot worse by continuing to cut clean energy projects, including a wind project off the shores of Massachusetts that would have added more electricity to the grid and helped bring down prices. But I think that this is also the result of years of underinvesting in electricity, underinvesting in clean energy, underinvesting in their grid. And as a result, you're right. I mean, Massachusetts families are really struggling to pay electricity bills. It's a huge problem, and the status quo leadership has not fixed it.
To clarify, the reason I brought up your college years as a physics major is I'm wondering, is nuclear part of the solution?
It absolutely should be on the table, and increasingly the environmental movement is recognizing that it is a clean source of energy. Now, it should be next generation nuclear. It should be safe nuclear. They have technologies now, as you well know, that prevent, that make it impossible for an accident like Fukushima or Chernobyl to ever happen. It's got to be safe. But also, what's happening right here in Massachusetts is there's a great company. There's a couple of different research projects that are working on fusion energy. And if you really care about the future, someday that will power the world. And it's a race that America needs to win over China. And frankly, I want Massachusetts to win for the entire world. So we should be investing in more of that future capability of energy here in Massachusetts. We're great at investing in biotech. We should invest in energy as well.
Congressman, you announced on Thursday that you're no longer going to accept donations from AIPAC. And I'm wondering if you can tell us more about your thinking and how you got to that decision. Was it a response to the base and the fact that recent polling has shown that Democrats do not support what has happened in Gaza and that they've pulled away from support for Israel? Or is it just that you yourself have seen the images of what's transpired in this war and that it's reshaped the way you see the United States relationship to Israel?
Look, the United States relationship to Israel is incredibly important, but I strongly disagree with the current Israeli government under Bibi Netanyahu. And I've been very outspoken about this for quite some time. I mean, in fact, I wrote an op-ed just after October 7th, right after those heinous attacks, saying that Bibi Netanyahu needs to have a political plan for the future for Palestinians and for Israelis to live peacefully side by side. He still doesn't have that plan. So after months and months of pressuring the Israeli government, pressuring AIPAC itself to not just follow the Israeli government. I finally decided that I just cannot accept contributions from an organization whose mission is to support the current government in Israel.
Congressman, but let me just follow up on that really quickly. How do you reconcile rejecting AIPAC money but still voting for the same policies that AIPAC is advocating for? You have continuously supported sending offensive weapons.
That's not true. I've frequently disagreed with AIPAC. I mean,
I know you disagreed with AIPAC,
with them over the
but you have
Iran
been voting for.
Wait, slow down.
I know, but I didn't finish my question. I didn't finish my question. I was saying you voted for sending weapons to Israel, which is something AIPAC has advocated for.
Okay, so sure, there are some votes that we'll agree on, but the important point is that I've frequently, over a long time, been willing to very publicly disagree with them. We had a very public disagreement over the Iran nuclear deal. I have voted against aid packages because they did not include humanitarian aid. I sat down over multiple meetings with the Israeli ambassador and with Bibi Netanyahu himself and told them that their strategy on the ground in Gaza, their lack of delivering humanitarian aid, is not only wrong, morally incorrect, but is strategically a really dumb way to win a war, as I know from my experience on the ground in Iraq. We never had a problem with terrorists controlling aid in Iraq because we always made sure there was so much aid to go around that it was never an issue. So I've been very public, and also, frankly, even more so in private, disagreed with AIPAC and their positions, and I'll continue to make decisions based on principle and based on my experience as a Marine on the ground in the Middle East, and not based on what any group says to us in Washington, D.C.
Congressman Seth Moulton, thank you so much for your time this evening.
Yeah, it's great to see you.